Hey YouTube, Bob here. Welcome to the next edition of my first-party Nintendo Players Guides playlist. And in this one, we're going to be taking a look at the guide that received the most votes in the first video for my N64 Players Guides. As you know, in the first video, we just do a general overview of all the ones that I have, and then I give you, the viewers, a chance to vote on the one you want to take a more detailed look at in the second video. And this is the guide that received the most votes. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, official Nintendo Player's Guide. So, as you can see here, as far as the aesthetics go, it's got kind of a leather-bound journal look to it with some little reinforcers on the corners there. Of course, it's just all printed, nothing special or embossed, but it does say the official guide from Nintendo Power, forward by Zelda creator Shigeru Miyamoto. So we'll be taking a look at that for sure. And back in about 1998 when this was released, it looks like it went for about $11 in US currency. So as we take a look around to the back here, live the legend. To defeat Ganondorf and undo the King of Evil's 7-year wrath, you'll need legendary help. Rely on this book to be your knight in shining armor, because it's the only guide made with assistance from Zelda's renowned creator Shigeru Miyamoto, his development team, and the sages at Nintendo. So lots of allusions there to the vocabulary of the Legend of Zelda. And I do remember, yeah, something specific about this guide, and maybe it'll be revealed in the forward, that it's not written in the typical style of a guide, and I don't really remember the details. So we'll take a look at that once we crack it open here. It says, the official Ocarina of Time Player's Guide from Nintendo Power reveals secrets, strategies, and tactics in epic proportions, so you can now restore order to the world of Hyrule. The time and the guide have come. So we've got detailed maps for every dungeon in town, charting hidden fairy fountains, secret rooms, and elusive items. Battle strategies that will guarantee victory against Ganondorf and every enemy in his army. Secret info revealing locations of the gold Skulltulas, pieces of heart, magic bean sprouts, and secret grottos. Trading tips for bartering goods and selling masks from the Happy Mask Shop. Plus, the exclusive here includes a transcription of the Zelda theme song to play on the Ocarina and complete maps. No territory left uncharted. So I believe that, like the Legend of Zelda Link to the Past guide, this one also has a kind of gatefold map somewhere in the middle of the guide. So we'll definitely take a look at that. Let's open it up to the inside cover here. And we've got a message from the master with a printed autograph here and a nice little illustration of Link dated October 10th, 1998. So what is the message from the master himself? Hi, I'm Shigeru Miyamoto. Thank you for playing so many of our fun and challenging games. We tried to write this guide to give you the strategy you need to complete your adventure, but also wanted you to discover much of the game on your own. A great deal of thought and care went into creating this game so players could find more than just challenges, but also a lot of fun. This is the best how-to guide for those of you who are looking for some strategies to complete your adventure. With this book, you will discover the secrets of every nook and cranny of the land of Hyrule as if you were one of the HYLIANs. Also, we hope the level of fun and challenge you experience in the game exceeds your expectations. If you get tired in the middle of your journey, you can play the Ocarina whenever you want. Try out its very cool options such as half-tone or whole-tone shift vibratos. Please see the fold-out poster for more details on making your own melodies. Good luck. So that is very Nintendo, just kind of including just a fun thing to play around with, you know, not essential to the gameplay. So we'll take a look at that. It's in the fold-out map, it says. So we've got a nice illustration there, official player's guide. This looks to be kind of a combination of N64 graphics and some hand-drawn or computer art there. So kind of a neat mix. So let's see how this guide is divided up. Contents. Herein lies the full account of the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. In this volume, you'll find a comprehensive retelling of the tale and an in-depth guide through Link's entire adventure. It contains detailed maps of every place he visited, descriptions of how he found every item and weapon in his amazing inventory, and a treasure trove of useful lore from ancient Hyrule. This guide is the only one from Nintendo Power, and it's an essential part of any Hylian hero's arsenal. So I think that's the unique aspect of this guide. It's kind of told in past tense narrative. So we'll take a look at that and see if that's the case. So we got Prelude to a Quest here. I think it goes through some of the previous games in the series and then goes through Link's moves, his items, some backstory, some details about the ocarina, and then the map there. It's probably where the fold-out begins, around page 19 and 20. So then a hero is born. So I think it's divided into chapters here. So I definitely think it's more a past tense narrative that we're going to see. So hero is born. It looks like we go through probably chronologically how you're supposed to go through. It looks like chronologically the places that you would go on your quest in the order that you would do them in. Hero of Time. Yep, going to continue that on there. No spoilers here. I'm not going to say what happens at this point, but they have it divided up in this way for a very special reason. And then Hidden in Hyrule, Happy Mask Shop, Trader Link, Heartfelt Help. So this is how to, probably some tips and tricks of how to collect all of the collectibles in this game. And then here on the side here, a link to the staff, kind of a nice allusion there to a link to the past, just all the people who contributed to the creation of this guide. So let's continue on here. Legends of Zelda. Much of Hylian lore has faded with the passing of years, but one story that still shines bright is the Legend of Zelda. This is no simple tale, but an incredible tapestry woven of many years and many wondrous adventures. One odd thing about the legend is that it doesn't seem to have been written in chronological order, and scholars still disagree about which events came first. We will therefore recount the legends as it was set down in the ancient scrolls and let you decide for yourself. Hear now the saga of Link and Zelda, the greatest heroes Hyrule has ever known. So then it kind of goes through the games. We got The Legend of Zelda and some screenshots there. Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo. And then, of course, Link's Awakening on the Game Boy. And it looks like on the second page here we've got some detail about Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Yeah, then it goes into more detail about each subsequent game. Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. And then we get into the current game here, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. Much about the lives of Link and Zelda remains a mystery, but a new chapter in The Legend of Zelda was recently unearthed in a remote corner of the Hyrule Castle archives. It sheds some light on Link's boyhood and on the origins of the thief who would become the darkest sorcerer in Hyrule's history. There's a little bit of detail there about the ocarina, the spiritual stones. We continue on here. Link in action. All of his moves made possible with the very unique and seemingly tailored to this game N64 controller, which a lot of you probably know that the controller actually took shape around the Super Mario 64 game, but it works very, very well with this game as well. As a matter of fact, it's the controller I seem to prefer. As weird as this controller is for the N64, anytime I play an N64 game on another platform like the Wii Virtual Console and I'm using another controller, it just doesn't seem to match the responsiveness. I always prefer the original controller. So we go through, see all of Link's moves here. This is where Z targeting was first introduced. Very, very essential gameplay mechanic for this game, how they were going to make 3D sword combat work. And it was certainly a game changer. So Link's arsenal, all the items that he could acquire in his inventory, quite improved over certainly the first Legend of Zelda game and even over A Link to the Past. Quite a few more innovative items here. And then Hylian lore, just going through some of the game mechanics, the day to night mechanic, the stones, bottles, and then Prelude to a Quest. It looks like these are the map pages, so let's take a look here. Hyrule and the borderlands were created by the three goddesses, but over the time, traffic between the lands trickled to a halt. Distant places became the stuff of legends. During his quest, Link reopened the old routes, forging new bonds between Hyrule and the Kokiri, the Zoras, the Gorons, and the desert people, the Gerudos. But Link's explorations also took him to the Temple of Time, where he opened the door to the Sacred Realm and a Pandora's Box of Evil. So already we can see the telltale signs here of a little bit of a shorter page, which means we got map pages to open up. So let's go ahead and see what we have on the left-hand side here. And on the right, got a full map, the Hyrule World Atlas. And on the left, looks like we got some information about the ocarina melodies here and some blank staves on which we could write the actual notes. While your ears may not be as musically in tune or as pointy as Link's, you surely can play songs as well as the hero of time himself. For reference, write in the songs on the staffs below as you learn them. So that's pretty cool. Kind of like the notes page at the end of an instruction manual. So then the world of Hyrule as the map begins right here. When the three goddesses skimmed their fingertips across an ancient universe in chaos, the wonderful result was the realm of Hyrule. From its majestic forest canopies to the crystal depths of its lake, the beauty of Hyrule served as evidence of the divine passion that inspired every breathtaking vista. Very nicely written there. So then we open up the right-hand side of the page here, and we have the continuation of the map, all areas labeled, and then it looks like we have some screenshots here of Link playing his ocarina at various points. Then on the rightmost page here, finding perfect harmony in Hyrule. This is what Shigeru Miyamoto alluded to in his foreword about if you get tired and just need a break and want to mess around a little bit, here is all of the advanced control they built into the ocarina with the N64 controller. So, with its 1.5 octave range, Link's ocarina was often the key to solving mysteries. Notice it says was here. They're continuing on in that past tense narrative. When he wasn't fending off the forces of darkness, it provided a tuneful way for him to spend his time. Unwind like a hero by getting in tune with the ocarina. The measure on the right charts out the ocarina's range of notes with their corresponding button and control stick moves. To test your music skills, play the song below, the theme you will hear while in Kakariko Village. So they've got the Kakariko Village theme charted out there. And then kind of showing you the button and control stick combinations to get the right notes, and then as well to sharpen them up with the R button or to flatten them out with the Z button, which was a really, really cool feature there that they incorporated. And then how you can change the pitch of the note by using the control stick. Such a cool mechanic. So those are the map and ocarina pages. You see that a lot in Zelda player's guides. So then here we've got an item chart, kind of charting out when you would get specific items. The timeline at the top of the chart shows the order in which Link visited various places. So again, past tense narrative. An item listed directly below an area was found in that area. The left side of the chart shows places Link visited between his major quests. Use the timeline to see when Link found items in these areas. For example, Link found the fairy ocarina in Kokiri Forest after he explored the Deku Tree. Each item is color-coded to show what age Link used it. Green for adulthood, yellow for childhood, and brown for both. So really kind of a cool way to chart that out there, and then all in past tense. A hero is born. So this is that first chapter, and it's going to go through chronologically, all the steps that Link took along his journey. So it says, from the moment Navi woke him on that fateful morning in Kokiri Village, Link became the great hope of Hyrule, even though no one except Princess Zelda knew his true role in the great events that were taking place. Even as a boy, just 10 years old, Link showed the courage of a hero and faced dangers in the Deku Tree, Dodongo's Cavern, and the belly of Jabu Jabu in Zora's Fountain. But even after collecting the 3 spiritual stones and returning them to the Temple of Time, Link was not yet ready for his final task. And that's what we will see in the next section. If we go back to the contents really quick, we are right here at A Hero is Born, kind of the first half of the game. Then we'll go to the Hero of Time. That's what this portion was just alluding to. So as we go through this portion, like I said, it was divided into, chronologically all the steps that Link took through his adventure. So you've got Kokiri Forest and the Deku Tree, Hyrule Field, the marketplace you can explore with its weird isometric. I know I'm thinking of the cathedral, but the Temple of Time. That isometric view on that screen. Hyrule Castle. Lon Lon Ranch. Got to get Epona. Kakariko Village with its windmill. Lost Woods. So yeah, just taking you through how Link went through his quest. On up through Death Mountain. Goron City. Dodongo's Cavern. Going through the labyrinths here. Zora's River. Into Zora's Domain. Lake Hylia. Jabu Jabu's Belly, next labyrinth here. All the maps that go along with that. And the Temple of Time, where the big spoiler takes place. I'm not going to say anything, even though you probably all know what happens. But Hero of Time, let's see. After the long sleep following his fateful meeting with Ganondorf in the Temple of Time, Link found himself in an altered world. It seemed that evil shadowed every corner, and the carefree Hyrule of his youth was nowhere to be seen. Link set out to face far greater peril than he could have ever imagined as he searched for the sages who held the key, rescuing the land. In the end, he would travel across Hyrule from the Forest Temple to Ganondorf's castle. Would his new skills and magic be enough to save Hyrule? He could only hope. And he has new skills for a particular reason, but I'm going to remain quiet on that. Instead, I'm just going to focus on this awesome artwork right here. That is so cool. So then we go through the second part of the guide here, Hero of Time, picking up at the graveyard, Forest Meadow, Forest Temple, Death Mountain Crater, Fire Temple, Ice Cavern, Water Temple, Kakariko Well, Shadow Temple. So cool, the Shadow Temple. Gerudo Fortress, Haunted Wasteland, Spirit Temple. Reminds me of the Power Slave cover by Iron Maiden. Just the colors, and looks like a little bit of an Egyptian aesthetic there. Spirit Temple. We've been seeing, you know, the strategies for the bosses in each temple. And then Ganon's Castle here, getting towards the end. So epic, the ending to this game. Ganondorf's Tower. Really cool shot right there. And then this artwork right here is very cool too. So, hidden in Hyrule. Although the defeat of Ganondorf was forever on Link's mind, his course took him down many paths. The land of Hyrule was full of mysteries like the strange mask in trading games, or the magic beans that could be planted all over the kingdom. Of even greater importance was the location of the hidden great fairy fountains, the heart pieces, and the cursed Skulltula. Link spent long hours searching for these treasures and completing these tasks. Many times he wished he had a magical book that showed him exactly where to look. Oh, wait. So this is just kind of the compendium here of how to collect, you know, the various things. Got the masks, like they mentioned. Happy Mask Shop. Trader Link, all the things that you could trade. Quite a few of those things. Heartfelt Help, all of the heart containers. So many. The magic beans you could plant around. And then the Skulltulas. And I always thought just the Stone of Agony, that was just the coolest thing, you know, with the Rumble Pack. The Stone of Agony, one of the children's gifts, was the companion relic to the Lens of Truth. While the lens allowed Link to see what normal eyes could not, the stone let him feel when he was near something strange. It vibrated when he was near hidden treasures or a secret grotto. So that was just such a cool mechanic to put in that game. And the Rumble Pack was released about a year earlier in 1997 with Star Fox 64. So it was neat how they were able to include that mechanic in the game still. So yeah, a lot of gold Skulltula in this game. This is the chart where you can find where those are, and then finally the fairy fountains. And then on the back inside cover, the kind of ad for registering for the Nintendo Power magazine. You could call that number and get your subscription. One of the most important things in your inventory for the game. So that is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time official Nintendo Player's Guide. Very cool way it's presented in kind of like journal form in past tense narrative. And a lot of cool information about this legendary game. So I hope you enjoyed this edition. And until the next one, please do take care, and you'll be hearing me in that next one.